We don't know when the earthquakes are going to stop at this stage. When we had the first one, I sort of thought, oh well, that's it. I have a few aftershocks, but they've just gone on and on and on.
Don't want to say we sit on a knife edge, but we sit in a place where at any moment it can change again, and then we have to go back to supporting people in Portaloos, lack of water, that sort of thing.
Memory hit us without doubt very hard. I don't think there's many people that could say that they weren't worried about what was going to happen next after that one, because that one was so violent that you didn't really know whether to get under a table or on top of a table. It really felt like you could have got swallowed in the ground.
Of course, it just happened after lunch. We were in the wetland about to do some lawn mowing, and when the quake came through, I was lucky enough to be talking to somebody in a van nearby, and I was able to hold on to their side mirror. But then my fellas behind me all fell over, and of course you can, the screaming and the panic and so on.
We grabbed some seats and we went into the park, which is next door. Sat everyone down just to settle them down a bit. Then the liquefaction just started coming, the water. It was something like I've never seen before. It just came from nowhere.
I never actually believed that a building could move so much. It was, and people screaming and everything else. But then you got outside and there was cracks in the pavement, and you knew it was pretty furious, and it was really loud and scary. And so then obviously your mind's thinking, well, how much worse can this be? There was literally cars, the front end of cars in the road.
I've got my son and he's legally blind, and I had no idea where he was because he was at Hagley College. And around the time he was supposed to be on one of the buses coming through town. And when I heard that 2 buses had been flattened, well, all sorts of things went through my mind.
Yeah, there was one that they lost a few.
But and not being able to contact him, well, had to keep it together though. And when I did hear from him, he was home. He'd caught an earlier bus.
Nobody left anybody. Nobody said, I'm just going off to see how my family is. Some of them might have checked in on families, but they always had the people they were supporting with them, made sure that they were safe first, and then dealt with their own issues.
And it was difficult.
No, it was hugely difficult.
Bus systems, taxi systems, everything going.
Phone systems.
Our biggest issue, once we knew everybody was safe, was trying to get people back, and would they have a home?
I ended up with a couple of service new users who lived in a ID Services house nearby, and that was the one that was wrecked. We didn't know this. We turned up at Brooker Ave, which is the house, and no one there, and covered in silt and water and wee floaty things inside the house.
We had one lady here who loves her DVD, and of course the power had gone. And I told everybody that they had to stay out of the building. Nobody goes back in the building because there was frequent rolls and the aftershocks and stuff. And she went absolutely mad because she couldn't get a DVD. And she literally tried to push back, and she wouldn't get in the van. And we got one of the big aftershocks where the van was literally bouncing on the car park. The van's bounced. I'm like, Annie, get in the van, we need to leave. She's like, DVD. It's like, the van's bouncing, people are screaming, and she wouldn't get in the van because of a DVD that I couldn't get for her because we had no power.
When you look back now in hindsight, you see we all went through phases. Like, I think there was the fight or flight adrenaline rush for a few days. Everyone was kind of high alert and survival mode. And then you kind of, it peters out and you're on a bit of a low, and then everyone's really tired and run down, and because you're trying to recover from that really intense time.
People are really supportive, and you do only have to ring and just say, look, can you help us out here? And people have done.
We now know all our neighbours, and our neighbours across the road who we didn't know, we were having showers over there and stuff. I mean, because our water cylinder had gone and we were having showers with our neighbours, and just everyone was banding together, everyone was talking with each other and getting to know each other, so it was a little thing going on everywhere.
We had a group of people for a while there who were making up little care baskets, some of our people from day bases, and taking small care baskets out to some of the elderly. You know, so it was like, we're part of this community, we want to stay in this community. We can also, well, we want the community to support us, we can also support the community. And people with disabilities are part of the city, you know, and they'll be part of the rebuild of the city as well.